Molly, you need your ass whooped because what the actual hell? Hi guys, my name is Esther. You are watching Etcetera With Est. Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. This week I am back with a review for Insecure Season 4, Episode 4. Thank you guys for watching my last review. Got some good reception also on Twitter as well. So yeah, this episode I was really excited for it because it's kind of like we're seeing the demise of, I won't say demise, but the strain on Issa and Molly's relationship, and it kind of took center stage on this episode. Now it's kind of hard seeing two friends who were like super close at one point basically not becoming friends. Sometimes it's a gradual decline, you know, one moves away or someone starts having children, gets married, you talk less, and then you get used to not talking as much and then you don't really talk at all. Sometimes it just fizzle out and sometimes some shit goes down. And I think that it's kind of in between those two scenarios, to be honest with you. You know, I have put a lot of blame on Molly in the last couple of episodes, but I think in this episode we do see how Issa is also at fault in the demise of their relationship. I need to stop saying demise. So the episode starts with Issa still organising her block party, which is going to take place in the next couple of weeks. It seems to be getting a bit overwhelming for her in terms of, you know, doing the, what's that thing, the posters, the marketing for it, you know, and it just seems like Condola's kind of gone AWOL. Because she wasn't in this episode, well, in person at all, which I think, I mean, I'll get to that a little bit later. It just seems like the block party has basically taken over her life, and I'm sure we all know when we're organising a big event, especially first time organising such a big event, you know, it does consume all your time. This is why I think it's a bit out of order for Molly in a sense that she doesn't recognise that, you know, this is probably one of the biggest things that Issa has ever done in her life. It's such a pivotal moment, especially after all she's gone through with her previous employers and not liking it and wanting to do more and things like that. So this is a big thing for her. She's like, you know, being a real adult, taking a hold of her career by, you know, by the seams. And it just seems like Molly's kind of not understanding that, you know. Like, Molly, you could ask about the block party. You could ask, can I help in any way? Is there, I know she's a lawyer, you know, is there any contracts that I need to... Well, I guess Condola was doing all that. Okay, fair enough. Moving on to Molly, her and Andrew seem to be like a proper like official couple now, it seems. But her work, as like Issa, I guess it is consuming her. So when her and Andrew were having a date night or rumpy pumpy night, she was more focused on her work, and then she asked to be able to finish her work first, and then she went back to go, you know, to go to ride dick. We've all been there. Tiffany and Derek have had their baby. I mean, it seemed like Tiffany was pregnant for like 45 years, but but yeah, they've had their baby. They had a girl, and I guess she had the baby some weeks ago. So I think this is the first time that Issa has gone to see the baby, if I'm correct. And there was a bit of an awkward moment when both Molly and Issa were trying to park, and Issa was there first. Let's be clear, she was there first. Molly pulled up trying to park, and both of them, you know, I guess it was a reflection of of their relationship, where it is, to be honest with you, you know, it's just very stop and start. They're not really communicating with each other. They both probably feel the same thing, they want the same thing, but it's just kind of not working out. I see what you did there, Issa. So, you know, even just them being around Kelly and Tiffany, you know, there are some awkward moments where probably Issa would make a joke usually and Molly would laugh or she would give a comeback, but she just seems a bit more irritated with Issa now, and both of them don't really know what's going on, and they seek the advice of Kelly and Tiffany separately. But I don't know, I just feel like you need to talk to each other. Kelly and Tiffany didn't seem to know what was going on really. They weren't really noticing anything. But what if they did, and then Kelly said something, oh, you know, Molly said this about you, or Tiffany said, you know, well, Issa said this about you. And it's just, you're just making it even bigger than it really needs to be. Also, Lawrence was at Tiffany and Derek's house because he's friends with Derek. So obviously he's come to see the baby as well. And him and Issa are having this talk. And Molly seems to kind of put her nose up to it a little bit. Which I understand, because Molly probably doesn't think it's a good idea for her to be even conversing with Lawrence. I completely understand that. However, Molly is the last person to be casting judgment on people's romantic choices, because she was out here riding marital penis last season. You know, what's that saying? He who is without sin cast the first stone. Or is it don't throw stones, people are throwing stones in glass. It's something like that. Something about glass house. But you know what I'm trying to say. One thing I didn't really get in this episode was Molly and Andrew though having this, I mean, you won't call it an issue, but kind of misunderstanding. They wanted a date. Molly was like, oh, we should do this after, we can do that after, blah, blah, blah. But Andrew was like, well, I've kind of made plans with my boys because I just assumed that you'd be busy with work. Because I guess from the beginning of the episode, it showed that she was focused on work even when she was around Andrew. But they made up at the end of the episode, which was good to see. It seems like Molly is taking this relationship seriously. And I mean, is this like, I feel like this might be her first proper adult relationship. You know, I could be wrong, but that's how it's coming across. So she's trying to always put her right foot forward. That's probably why she's in her head a little bit. And she, you know, she wants reassurance from friends like Issa to kind of tell her, no, you're doing this right, or don't do that, don't do this, because she just wants to get it right. And I think we've all been there, you know, in relationships where, you know, you start reaching a certain age, and every person you're dating or guy you meet, or how you present yourself to men or women, you know, whoever it is you're dating, you know, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to kind of have an intention behind everything. And I think that's where, I mean, I'm not like that, but that's where Molly is right now in her relationship. That's how I feel anyway. So back to Issa and the block party. While she was talking with Lawrence, she got a call to say that her headliner for the block party had pulled out for whatever reason. So obviously now she has to find a new headliner, which obviously is a big thing because she's already printed out the flyers and all, you know, things like that, which again, it's money, it's time. And Lawrence was going to tell Issa that I guess him and Condola are not really together anymore, or they're not really talking anymore. So that's probably why she has been a bit AWOL. Which, to be honest, this is what Molly was kind of saying. And I don't think necessarily Molly envisioned this type of situation happening. But it gets messy, you know, because now Lawrence and Condola might not be rocking with each other anymore. You know, she might, well, I guess that's what she's done. She might not want to work with Issa anymore, which I think to me, that's not professional. She's in search of a new headliner. She's calling people that she hasn't spoken to in years if they've got a hookup. And I think something pops up on her phone. I think about Live Nation, and she sees Schoolboy Q's picture or something like that. I mean, I didn't have my glasses on and my eyesight was poor, so I couldn't really see exactly what she was looking at, but I gathered that it was Schoolboy Q. And Andrew, Molly's boyfriend, works for Live Nation. So, you know, she calls Molly out of the blue, well, not out of the blue for her, but out of the blue for Molly, when she's at work, and asks, can you please ask Andrew kind of, you know, if we can get Schoolboy Q to perform at the block party. I mean, I think at that point Molly and Andrew hadn't made up yet, so obviously she was in the mood for that. But I think she kind of felt like, you know, I haven't really been speaking with you, Issa, and you're just calling me out of the blue because you need a favour, you know. And it's not even a favour that I can directly help you with, it's a favour of a friend of mine. So I feel like, well, her boyfriend. So I feel like she probably felt used in that moment. Like, okay, if that wasn't happening and you didn't need a new headliner, would you have called me? But again, Issa was desperate. I completely understand that. What I feel like Molly really let me down this episode. I mean, I'm not even surprised, but I just think she let me down. She said to Issa later on at the end of the episode that, you know what, I'm not going to ask Andrew to kind of hook you up or see if he can hook you up with Schoolboy Q or another artist or anything like that, because I want to keep my friendship and I want to keep my relationship separate. I don't want to, you know, complicate the two, which I completely understand, especially when something is relatively new, and obviously her and Issa haven't really been, you know, on the greatest of speaking terms as of late. You know, she doesn't want any mix up, any confusion or any. I completely understand that. I completely understand that. However, this is Issa's block party, you know, where she wants hundreds of people or thousands of people, I'm not 100% sure, to come. It's basically kind of like you've got a concert on and you lose your headliner or you lose your prime DJ, and you're kind of fighting to find, you know, to find a solution, to fix all the problems, and your friend can, you know, help you in some way, and your friend is basically refusing to. That's where I think, Molly, I don't think you should have done that. I mean, you might feel like Issa isn't being the greatest friend to you, but what you did was pay. Because if their relationship was, you know, as solid as it was in previous seasons, she would have even been the one to say, do you know what, let me ask Andrew for your to help you out, see if you can get anyone to perform at your block party. Issa was desperate, is desperate rather, and you know, it would be interesting to see next episode how it works out, because it's things like that that really put the nail in the coffin to an end of a friendship. So I mean, yeah guys, that's my take on the episode. I feel like it's probably gonna get worse with Molly and Issa before it gets better. I mean the beginning of the season, Issa's kind of saying like, you know, I don't really think I'm friends with Molly anymore. But yeah, I mean, this would kind of all go away if they literally just talked, honestly. Both of them have their parts to play. I do think Molly is a bit more at fault, because obviously Molly is the one with the bigger problem, I think, with Issa. I think it's more venom is that way as opposed to Issa with Molly. So guys, thank you for watching the review. Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff, and I'll be back next week for the Real Housewives of Atlanta virtual review and for Insecure as well. Bye guys.